Kenya's energy needs are largely unmet. 70% of the rural population depends on biomass for energy, and only 25% of the Kenyan population has access to electricity energy. Electricity power from the national grid remains erratic and expensive. To contribute in mitigating this, GIZ, Energizing Development Kenya Country Program, has been promoting innovative clean energy technologies to serve various sectors of the population. Use of improved cook stoves, solar power and biogas technologies are a reality in many homes and institutions today. The Energizing Development Kenya Country Program is now promoting the use of agro-waste to generate biogas for power production. Using biogas for power generation for agro-based enterprises is a viable and timely technology for the country's agro-based enterprises, particularly for small and medium-level enterprises, SMEs. Energizing Development Kenya Country Program outgoing Program Manager and Biogas Energy Generation Specialist Raymond Hoffman explains how this technology works.
Biogas is produced when organic material ferments under so-called anaerobic conditions, that means without air, oxygen. Then biogas is produced. You just use an engine, either a diesel engine, then you have to feed in a little bit of diesel, about 20 to 30%, and the rest biogas, and it burns exactly the way a diesel engine runs a generator. Yeah? Or you use a petrol engine, also then you don't even need to add any petrol, but the combustion process is a little bit more complicated. Or there are even generators or engines on the market that run on biogas only. It's exactly the same as if you would produce electrical power by a diesel, petrol or gas generator.
Mugoya Farm is a small agro-enterprise producing vegetables for urban markets and has adopted biogas generation technology to supplement its power needs. The farm is situated in the semi-arid region of Matu in Machakos County, an area not covered by the national electricity grid. In 2009, they modified the diesel engine to incorporate use of biogas energy. They have since reduced their diesel consumption by more than half.
Tulikuwa natumia kwa masaa 8, tulikuwa natumia mafuta lita 20. Lakini sasa hivi tuna save lita 12, sababu tunatumia lita 8 peke yake kwa masaa 8. Ile kazi muhimu ya aswa kabisa ina run ile machine generator ile. Tunaweka mafuta kidogo na tunafungulia hii biogas. Hii biogas tukiweka hapo inapunguza mafuta kiasi kubwa. Tunaweza taka kuchomelea kitu hapa. Kama kuna wheelbarrow imevunjika, hiyo afukadi imevunjika, kwa tu mashini ya welding machine. Tunaconnect tu kwa nini hapo. Kwa ile machine tunatumia stima kuchoma hiyo nini. Kuchoma ile kitu inahitajika.
The biogas plant runs solely on agro waste from the vegetable and fruit gardens. The waste is adequate to produce sufficient biogas power to run the generator for borehole and water pumps for day-long irrigation. The biogas plant has enabled Mugoya increase its production capacity at significantly reduced energy costs. Larger agro-enterprises have similarly embraced the biogas electric power systems technology. Locally owned and managed, Simbi Roses of Thika provides testimony to the viability of biogas power generation systems. Simbi Roses hosted the sectoral feasibility study on the use of agro-waste for biogas-based power production. Engineer Peter Kishohi led the research team.
The study established that it is technically possible and viable to generate biogas. It is now known as a fact. And from that, it has also been established that it is possible to design a system that would be financially viable for generating power from the same flower waste.
The Simbi Roses biogas plant generator uses 100% biogas to generate power that is used to run water irrigation pumps and pesticide equipment in the 24-hectare rose farm. Now in its 4th year of operation, the plant produces not only power but also fertilizer that is used to enhance the production of the rose farms. Its benefits are clear.
It is a big saving because when I look at my electricity bill, I was paying per month between 1 million to around 1.2. Currently, I'm paying a bill of around 800,000, 800 to 900,000. So there's a saving, and I'm sure with time, if I can be able to work up to 6 hours, I can be able to bring that my bill maybe to around 700 or 600. So it's a big saving.
The firm plans to construct 2 extra hydrolysis tanks to increase biogas production in order to generate more electric power. Once implemented, the monthly electricity bill is expected to reduce by half. Established 8 years ago, Kilifi Plantations is a pioneer in the use of biogas power generation technology in the country. Its biogas power generation plant utilizes dung from the cows and waste from sisal processing to produce the biogas used in the converter generator to produce electricity. The power generated is used in the heavy sisal processing plant and milk cooling systems, among other industrial operations.
In terms of production, electricity is our second largest cost, okay? Labor is our largest. The way that the biogas has benefited us, it's reduced our bill by around about 1/3. It doesn't eliminate, but it subsidizes our power usage. So rather than me taking 100% from KPLC every month, I'm now taking 70%. 30% of that power I'm now generating myself. In terms of a cost saving, you're looking at anywhere between 100 to 200,000 shillings a month on your power bill. So that's around about 2.4 million shillings a year that you're saving from biogas.
It ensures availability of backup power in case of main grid outages and saves the company significant amounts in monthly power costs. It is due for expansion in the next year. Commissioned in 2014, the Finlay Estate biogas power generation system presents a case study in efficient use of agro-waste in the production of biogas-generated energy. The plant uses agro-waste from its flower farms and instant tea processing plant, as well as sewage disposal waste. The high costs in waste disposal that the company incurred are now in the past.
When you produce instant tea, you produce a lot of solid waste. We're getting about 70 tons a day of that, plus we're getting up to about 30 tons a day of flowers waste from our flower farms. So this waste was previously being spread in the forests in order to provide humus and compost in the forests. But it's a manual process, and it's a very energy consuming process putting it in the forest. So together with our consultants, Tara Consult actually, we started to look at biogas, and we tested very in a lot of detail the substrates to make sure that they would produce the energy that we expected. Also looking into the right technology to use in the biogas plant.
The biogas system is now productively used to run 180 kilowatt power generators. The plant is capable of producing 1.2 million kilowatt hours of power per year. This translates to over 3,200 kilowatt hours of energy produced each day, with enormous savings in production costs and myriad other benefits.
First of all, you produce electricity, you also produce heat, but you also produce the fertilizer, which is very useful in tea operations. We are already using the fertilizer in our planting operations for new tea, and we are using it in the forests to fertilize the forests, and we're also looking at using it in organic grown tea, which would be the first in this country to look at such a thing.
Currently using only 1/3 of the agro-waste that the factory produces, It is not surprising that Finlay Estate plans to triple their biogas energy generation units in the coming days.
We're only putting in up to about 20 tons, 25 tons a day at the moment, and we have up to about 75, 80 tons a day. So we would like to carry on and build 2 more digesters or 2 or 3 more digesters to utilize that waste.
Energizing Development Kenya Country Programme has been engaging with the various stakeholders in the clean energy sector to facilitate smaller and mid-level agro-enterprises in the country to access the technology.
If you are a medium-level agro-enterprise involved in dairy farming or piggery, and you have substantial amount of dung or waste from your enterprise, biogas technology is also appropriate for you to generate power for your internal use. Project will provide expertise on being able to develop a business proposal for you that makes sense on what kind of system you need in terms of the digester size, what kind of engine systems and electrical solution you need to be able to address your energy needs, and also of course make an economic analysis to ensure that the investment makes economic sense. Then of course the next opportunity would be to also support you to, if you cannot finance it with your own resources, to seek credit. The project will also provide the technical backstopping in the actual construction, in the actual installation, until the system is performing.
Agro-enterprises that have experience with the biogas electric power systems consider it a technology ripe for the Kenyan small and mid-level entrepreneur.
Biogas technology is incredibly simple and incredibly beneficial. So I would love to see more people embrace it, and I think it has a wonderful part to play.
I would encourage other growers, whether you are doing fresh produce, whether doing roses, if you've got any waste from the agricultural product, you can look at it, and I'm sure you can have some saving if you are able to produce the biogas.
Definitely advise other people to look into biogas in a big way, because some of the other types of ways of dealing with waste are not really sustainable. So for dealing with waste and then producing energy, it's the most sustainable way of doing it as far as we can see, because the conversion of products is done in a way that doesn't damage the environment at all.